Yeah. Yeah. What up, y'all? I see a lot of you having have some issues with Vanguard 4. Vanguard 4 is a piece of cake, man. You got to figure it out. I'm going to try here to guide you and see if you can do a little bit better. I don't think I'm anything special with it. I just feel like it's, definitely don't pub group. Definitely do not like search randomly for people. If you're doing that, that's mistake number one. But in this Vanguard 4 video, it's going to be nice, quick, easy, simple, concise. Let's get to it. First, before anything, I just want to say I am like 99% sure that Rezo, besides the life and the damage that it does give you for Vanguard, for anything that you do, besides that, I don't think Rezo is giving you much of a boost besides the life and damage. I'm going to do this in two parts. We're going to go ahead and do the best combination of both free-to-play stuff and pay-to-win stuff. And then I'm also just going to give a little shout-out to the F2Ps and show you, as a free-to-play player, if you stay to the end, I'll show you how to basically combine certain things in a way that's going to make you an absolute slayer of Vanguard 4. All right. So first, the best combination that I've been able to come up with, as far as Tempest, as far as I mean, I don't really know of any other class. Maybe if you're another class and you use this combination of gems and you let me know that it's good, then it's cool. But as far as any other class, I can't speak for. But as far as Tempest goes, this has been working wonders for me in Vanguard 4. Let's go over the essences. Dreaming Drown, Fade to Bronze, United Defiance, Howling Anchor, Shriek Worth, Hurricane Hitch, Sky Imparter, Ripper Jaws. Yup. For the gems, again, this is a mixture of pay to win and craftable free to play gems. I just have very, very good success with it. Viper's Bite, I'm auxing in a Bile in here. I'm auxing in a Royal Inconsequence in there for like an extra dot and another. And just a bit more crit chance. Igneous Scorn is on here. I'm going to take that off. This is like more like PvP. It doesn't spread that far. Igneous Scorn just spreads your bleeds. But instead of using that, we're going to take that off. And we're going to just use the powering command. Just go ahead and receive the 24% that it gives you, which is very nice. Everlasting Torment. A dot. That's a 1-star. It's going to lower your damage a lot, and blah, 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 but it's still very effective because it helps you pop Grace, 4-piece Grace, more often. So you always want, like, if you're for the best thing, PvP or Vanguard or whatever you're doing, if you're using Grace, you want, like, if you can, have, like, 5 sources of dots, at the minimum 4. Less than 3, really, I mean, you should probably just, like, not use Grace. But Grace mixed with a high number of sources of dots is awesome. It doesn't have to be dots. It can just be, if you just shoot at crazy speeds, you can choose Grace. But I wouldn't go full dots and Grace if you shoot at high speeds. Like, pick one or the other. Because having both is you just be mid on both. You can either go full bleeds or like full burst. You could try to half-ass each one, but it's always better to like hyper-focus on one, in my opinion. Mother's Lament, Phoenix Ashes, and that Young Boy Bottle of Hope. So, before I get to the greens, let me explain why this combination works so well, in my opinion. Which, again, when we get to the greens will just accentuate or buff or increase or extend anything that has to do with my gems and my essences. So let's go over how many dots I have. I have Viper's Bite, poison, it's a dot. I have Bile, poison, it's a dot. Everlasting, on critical hits, I inflict agony, which is a dot. And also I have Howling Anchor as an essence, that's a dot. Makes my Hurricane Hitch from Crosswinds bleed. Ripper Jaws, every time I activate 3 skills, it becomes active and it releases like a dust, and it just kind of sits there for a little bit. And anybody who breathes that shit in, boom, another dot. So that's 1, 2 dots from essences, right? 1, 2, 3 dots from 4 dots with Rolling Consequence. From gems, right? So from gems, I'm getting 4 dots right now. Viper's Bite, Bile, that's Oxen here. Everlasting, that's 3. And Rolling Consequence, that's 4. Now, I also have Howling Anchor, that's 5. And Ripper Jaws, that's 6. Now, I also have a 2-piece Lash curse property. That makes it 7. When that procs every 30 seconds, that makes it 7. I'm pretty sure that's it. So that's 7 sources of dots. That means if I get you with all 7, every second, Grace, because it's usually like a second apart each tick, you're going to be popping Grace for about 3 to 4 seconds, like every second. Plus whatever you're shooting on them, and this is passive damage. So you're like, once you infect everybody in Vanguard, all the monsters, they're just going to be ticking away. So that's kind of what you want. That's kind of the trick, in my opinion, as far as like doing like crowd damage and stuff. More than doing like a single target damage, you kind of want to do like the bleeds, you know? And now the other gems are just kind of buffing them up, you know? The Power and Command's buffing that up 24%. Mothers is giving me much more critical hit chance. Bottled Hope is also increasing my speed, which I don't receive due to the Surf. If Surf is activated and then I dash, I'm going to stay up the max 55%. 55% is the cap if you're surfing. Well, in general, in Tempest, I'm pretty sure that's the cap. So you can't really, but it does give you 13.5 at this rank 4. It gives you 13.5 increased damage. So Pain Class does the same thing at rank 5. I have Pain Class at rank 5, but since we want most damage in life in order to survive in Vanguard 4, you want to go, instead of the Pain Class, I would choose, if you have it, a Bottled Hope. And then you can, go to the Harbinger tree. The Harbinger tree is very important. Definitely use Harbinger. Definitely use Harbinger. You want to do the decrease 10%, just so you could be shielded as much as possible. You want Blur, not because you're going to go invisible. The monsters don't care. But as soon as you attack, once you go invisible, so you'll be invisible maybe like a quarter of a second, because you'll be attacking nonstop. Then you're gonna receive 30% damage for 5 seconds and 20% increased chance for 5 seconds as well, which all resets upon killing a monster within those 5 seconds. So as you're getting along, by the third little base that you have to conquer before getting to the boss, you're not going to be killing too many monsters in those 5 seconds. But for the first 2, this definitely helps you keep clear of it, or keep it clear for your team. And obviously, quick step is just, come on, you just need that. So that's Harbinger. Then for the greens, which again, let me just go back to the gems real quick. So what do I mean by all the gems all the gems are buffing the bleeds, right? So I have the 7 sources of bleeds, and then I have this buffing the bleed, right, by 13%. Then I have BSJ buffing the bleed by 8% right there, right? This is giving me as many of a chance as I can get. This is maximizing my chances. Remember, I'm getting 20% chance from Harbinger Tree. Now you got the Mother's Lament on top of that, with the Roiling Consequence 12% on top of that, right? So all of that chance is going to be added to the Fade to Bronze armor, right? Cascade also causes enemies hit to become vulnerable, taking 47.5 increased critical hit damage for 4 seconds. So all of that crit chance is going to go hand in hand with my Fate to Bronze, hand in hand with all the dots, hand in hand with the Bottled Hope, with the BSJ buff, right? With the what else I got? Oh, with the 24% from Power and Command. So all of that together is already super OP, right? Then we're going to go to the greens and make it even deadlier. So the Grace popping every 5 times is 15k. That is huge, huge damage, because most of the time, because of the Mother's Lament, the Royal Inconsequent, and the resetting 20% chance from Harbinger, you're probably going to crit more times than not those 5th hits of Grace, making that pop of 15 or 14.5, whatever the fuck it is. So by the time that monster knows what happened, man, that monster's gonna be dead on the ground. If you're PvPing, this works great as well. If you're F2P, you can rock this for PvP. Just make sure you're using, instead of United Defiance, you use Safe Borders, because you need to escape. Yada yada. But for the greens, you gotta have 2 Virtu. Virtu just extends everything. Your shields, your Zeph duration, the list goes on and on. Please just wear a 2-piece Vithu. No matter who you are, just wear a 2-piece Vithu. You'd be surprised how many things are considered beneficial effects. 4-piece Grace, the god of all the sets. As far as bleeds go, the god of all the sets. 4-piece Grace, also a must. You can inflict huge damage, added damage, in order to the already disgusting damage that you're inflicting the person or the monster. 2-piece Mail Fist. This is here because I use Pain Clasp a lot. I'm not going to switch that out because I have bleeds, and the bleeds are, harmful effects. So that's going to make, usually the Pain Clasp would add 13%, but since we don't have the Pain Clasp, we replaced it for the Bottled Hope. That's okay. This is still going to increase my bleeds 30%, giving me 1 or 2 more ticks per monster, which is awesome.